You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Black and White Sports fans, we're going to be talking about NBA great Dwyane Wade. He's a future Hall of Famer, if he's not already in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he's actually been retired a full 5 years yet, but he's going in, he's moonwalking into the Hall of Fame. Guys, I have been reluctant to make this video. I really have. Because when it comes to children, I don't really want to talk about children here on this channel. But I believe Dwyane Wade, and there's been videos out there. They have said, a lot of people out there that made videos said he has failed as a father. And I completely agreed with him. But the mainstream media out there, they have been praising Dwyane Wade for what he did with his son, who now wants to identify as a girl. I believe the kid is only 14 years old. And the Met Gala was actually going on, and Dwyane Wade was there with his woke wife, Gabrielle Union. And guys, the mainstream media asked him about giving parental advice because he has a quote-unquote trans child. Now, guys, Dwyane Wade is a beta male. The man is not taking care of his business in the household. He's supposed to be the man in the house, but it seems like, his woke wife is running over him. I'm not the first one that's noticed that. There's been Kwame Brown has called him out on this, former NBA player. Odysee has called out Dwyane Wade for what he's doing with his son. And they're right about it. They're right about it. But check this out. Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union give advice to parents raising transgender children. Now, guys, if you're a man out there, I would not take the advice of Dwyane Wade. I wouldn't. It seems like he let his child run over him. I'm just being real. But listen to this clip here, guys. And also, by the way, it's kind of interesting, when it comes to Dwyane Wade, you always hear about Dwyane Wade, Gabrielle Union, and his son who wants to identify as a girl. Ladies and gentlemen, Dwyane Wade has 3 other kids. Why don't we ever hear about his other kids? Because the mainstream media only focuses on one because of the alphabet stuff. That's pretty much it. They ignore all of his other kids, folks. But I digress on that. Let's listen to what Dwyane Wade has to say.
And I just have to thank you because you've been amazing with your daughter. It's pretty incredible. What keeps you going, fighting for her?
Just being a father and just seeing our child grow up every day and doing what you're supposed to do as a parent is to make sure that you sit back.
By the way, his son who wants to identify as a girl, that's not Gabrielle Union's kid. Just throwing it out there.
And, you see what it is in life that they want to do, and you try to go there with them and try to help them mold them into what it is they want to be and who they want to be. So we're just doing our part, as parents. And we love our kids, and we get to see them every day. That's what people on the outside don't get to see, but we know them and we see them all the time. So.
Yeah, and we believe them when they tell us who they are.
What do you say to a dad out there whose daughter has just come home and said, I'm trans? What do you say to that dad?
Well, I say the moment when you were in the hospital and you grabbed your daughter and you looked at your daughter and all the things that went through your mind, all the emotions that went through your mind, and how much love filled your heart at that moment. Don't let that ever leave you, no matter what. Like, the one thing as parents, what we do is we find our mini-me's and we try to make them just like us. We just understand, like, our kids are going to be who they are. It's our job to help mold them and help try to, push them in the right places that they want to go. But just remember that moment, what you said in that hospital that day they were born.
Okay. Gabrielle Union says something. I'm going to back up here for a second. I believe it's about right here. Play this again.
Don't let that ever leave you, no matter what. Like, and you looked at your daughter. Well, I say the moment when you were in the hospital and you
believe them when they tell us who they are.
What do you say to it?
We believe them when they tell us who they are. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Dwyane Wade, there's another clip out there. Dwyane Wade's kid came home, homework assignment, And guess what? The story has changed quite a bit, because when you're little kids, guess what? You don't know much. Adults are supposed to lead the way, and Dwyane Wade did not do that. Check this clip out here, guys.
When it hit my doorstep at 3 years old, like I said, when me and my wife looked at each other.
3 years old.
Right. And the reason we looked at each other is because of this, as kids, I used to put on heels. I used to do all those things. I try to put on whatever my sisters wear. When all my sisters did, I try to do those things.
Now, honestly, I don't know any guy that did that, but okay.
So at first I said to myself, oh no, I did that. So I ain't just doing the things that I did. And then it kept going further and further. And then me and my wife had to look at each other and say, well, what if? And at that moment, everything that I was taught went out the window, because now I'm a parent, and my sole job and my sole responsibility is to make sure that this kid grow up knowing that it's supported and is loved by his father and the other parent, right?
I find it interesting how he just says the other parent. He didn't say the mother. He just said the other parent. Okay. Loving your kids is one thing, and I don't have any doubt in the world that Dwyane Wade loves his kid. But sometimes you need to give tough love. Tough love. That's being a parent right there, because you know better than your child.
That's my only job. And so when it came down to Zaya, at 3 years old, I looked at it and said, okay, D, I looked in the mirror. And now, not only did I look in the mirror, when I went in the locker room, I started changing the way I talked. I started changing how I listen to things, and I started challenging people in a different way. Once I started to ask questions to my wife friends, because I've never been,
He went to his wife's friends. His wife friends. He couldn't, make up his own mind on what's best. He couldn't take charge. He went to his wife's friends. And Gabrielle Union is not even his son's mother. Let that sink in, folks.
I've never been, at that time, no one is in the NBA or play basketball has never been openly gay.
Right.
I've never had a conversation with
even in
anybody
our
that
locker
was
room.
openly in our locker room. So I was ignorant when it come to this space. So when my child came home at 8 years old, we were living in Chicago at the time. After I left Miami, which we talked about, my child came home. And the reason my child didn't come home, it was an assignment that was done at school. An assignment at school would say, tell me about yourself. And this was the time where Zaya took the time to say, I'm black, I'm this, and I'm gay. At the time, Zaya said, I am gay. Okay. So the teacher called home. At 8 years old, the teacher called home and said, hey, I just want you guys to know we post these all over the school, but we didn't want to post this if you guys didn't blah, 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 right? So we sat down with the teacher and talked about the teacher at that time was a gay female.
Okay.
Gave Zion the confidence.
That's a blessing.
To be able.
Look at this simp right here. Another beta right here. Ryan Clark, we already talked about him with the whole Sage Steele thing.
Able to say those words. So when we sat down and I was in the room across the way, I prepared myself for 5 years for that moment, not knowing what I was going to do or say. When Zaya sat down with me and was across the way, just like me and you are right now, Ryan, I'm looking at my child. I don't care about anything else. I'm looking at my child, and I'm looking at my responsibilities. I'm looking at a child that's crying, that's afraid to tell their father.
Wow.
That they're different than what you probably thought I was, Dad. I don't want to play basketball. Sorry.
Okay, that's enough of that, guys. That's enough of this. Dwyane Wade, great basketball player. Complete beta when it comes to being a father in the household. Did not take charge. Went to Gabrielle Union's friends. He couldn't take charge of his own family. This is pretty pathetic, guys. And by the way, his son, who wants to identify as a girl, he said that they came out as gay. But here's the thing, folks. That was years ago. Guess what? Already changed. Because Dwyane Wade, that's his actual son's name, now wants to be called Zaya, is actually dating a biological female. Yeah, he's a biological male dating a biological female, but this biological female wants to identify as a boy. So the whole gay thing went completely out the window. Boy, Dwyane Wade. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, beta male Dwyane Wade. Pretty pathetic, guys. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to Black and White Sports. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.